Communication received. Welcome back.
This week on the Ingress Report, major XM anomalies strike Rome and Phoenix, an agent in Alaska embarks on a dangerous and daring trip for her faction, and agents around the world prepare for Reckoning Day, the long-awaited final showdown of Operation 13 Magnus. Welcome to the Ingress Report. I'm Susanna Moyer. Following last week's raid on our studio by the NIA, we will now be broadcasting from a series of undisclosed locations as we continue our search for the truth about XM. Last Saturday, agents in Rome and Phoenix collided in a momentous battle to take control of both the final Jarvis Shard and an important Hank Johnson document. With only days remaining until Reckoning Day, agents around the world rallied for their factions. Action was intense in the anomaly cities of Athens, Istanbul, Nashville, and Tucson. At stake, in the center of this conflict, was the destiny of Shard number 13, codenamed Immortality.
The global shard movement has been accelerating, and we did have a shard come through here, and it was a very, very intense battle to get it back to a safe location.
XM scientists had predicted that the outcome of the anomaly would influence whether the 13th and final shard would manifest in a site closer to the resistance target in Buenos Aires or the Enlightened target in San Francisco.
I think that the Jarvis Shards will be reunited by the Enlightened in San Francisco.
We work together from all over the world to bring agents to one location and figure out the best strategy for it.
In Rome, more than 300 agents were active on the ground, and hundreds more participated globally, attempting to influence the anomaly by claiming global mind units and control of the all-important shards. The Enlightened prevailed. In Phoenix, the major US anomaly site, the Enlightened succeeded in creating a massive field during Measurement 3. Resistance agents around the globe, however, built their own fields, which caused a large mine unit surge, leading to Resistance control of that critical city.
I have the results of today's 13 Magnus anomaly in Phoenix. The final scores are Enlightenment, 624. Resistance, 770.
The Resistance prevailed overall, and the 13th Shard, Immortality, materialized in Rio de Janeiro at the Christ Redeemer portal. Agents rushed to control this critical final shard, and by extension the fate of Roland Jarvis, the self-proclaimed leader of the Enlightened movement. In Malaysia, Enlightened agents rallied to move the 4th Shard from the Malaysian state of Johor to the state of Sabah. A group calling themselves Team Johor Tigers lured the Shard to a symbolically important portal. The agents held the Shard for a number of hours before passing it along to its next destination. We now go to this week's Situation Report, submitted to us by agents in Alaska. Executed by Enlightened agents, the Operation A Series of Tubes aimed to take down a blocking link that reached from Alaska to Southern California and required the Ingress community to pool money and resources in order to secure a bush plane to fly a single chosen Enlightened representative to the remote town of Iliamna. After landing in the small village of barely 100 people, Agent Artio was faced with falling snow and a runway icing over. With their takeoff window quickly closing, she struggled to obtain a GPS lock, but at the last minute was able to deploy a Jarvis virus which instantly destroyed the targeted link. With just seconds to spare, Agent Artio and the plane headed back down the icy runway and safely returned to Anchorage, having completed one of the most exciting and daring missions in Ingress history. We'd like to thank those of you who joined us for our live stream this past weekend. We were able to speak with a number of agents about the most recent events of Operation 13 Magnus.
We've been working with the cities of 13 Magnus to help our fellow Enlightened across the globe.
Resistance is very well organized, and we have some outstanding people getting us the operation in order. I'm confident of a Resistance win.
I think that it really is the future of humanity. I'm afraid of the dangers that these shapers may pose, and I'm not necessarily opposed to them. We need to understand them before we blindly just accept something.
With the fast approach of Reckoning Day, the final showdown of 13 Magnus, the Ingress Elite 5 competition is still accepting applications. Selected based on their trailing 30-day stats and other criteria, the 5 chosen agents will be flown to California for a series of high-level meetings in February 2014. We will, of course, plan to interview those agents here on the show as well. Entries for the Ingress Elite 5 competition are due by December 14th. As the events of these last months reach their dramatic and critical conclusion, we will again be live streaming our coverage of the 13 Magnus finale, broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the San Francisco Bay Area this Saturday, December 14th. Make sure to monitor Google Plus for our announcement of when and where to view that live stream. For the Ingress Report, I'm Susanna Moyer.
This file has been erased.